Hello, Cancer. Thanks for tuning in. Let's do some cards. Let's pull some cards, shall we? I'm going to finish up all the zodiac signs with this deck of fairy cards for the base of the spreads that we're doing. Please pardon my, really low-tech background and mood lighting. Okay, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I'm new to doing collective spreads. So I'm trying to hone my intuition and see how I do in a collective format. So these readings probably will not resonate with everyone. That makes sense, right? It's highly unlikely that this reading is going to connect with every Cancer on the planet. However, I feel like if you are drawn to this video, there's probably something in here that you will benefit from, or that will connect with you or resonate with you. So hopefully that will be the case. I'm going to do this for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus if you want to look at your romance and relationship sectors. Sometimes Venus, or other parts, sometimes Venus connects too for me when I'm watching other videos, but rarely. So that's why I don't push the Venus. I'm not an astrologer, so I can't speak to any astrological aspects, or I'm not very knowledgeable in astrology, so I can't speak to that. But hopefully this will resonate with you. If it does, please let me know in the comments below. All right, I'm going to pull an initial spread. We're going to cover relationships, career, and spiritual soul ascension issues. I'm going to pull some base spread, and then we'll clarify. I'm going to be quiet while I pull the spread, so feel free to fast forward if you like. Okay. All right, spirit guides, thank you. Thank you for helping me see clearly. Thank you for showing us what we need to see. What is in store for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. All right, so we have, starting out for Cancer, for you Cancer, in relationship, we've got the Magician. Very nice. We had 2 cards that wanted to come out here. This is the 4 of, interesting. This is the 4 of discs in traditional decks, 4 of Pentacles, and the ego, which is devil energy, and basically. Very interesting. And then moving into the 3 of Swords energy. Let's see what the advice is. Your advice is the 2 of Cups. Fascinating. Okay, career ascension. We've got the 8 of Wands going into renewal, which is judgment right there. And the 2 of Discs. Advice there is the 8 of Discs for you in career. All right, spiritual ascension. We've got unity, which is the High Priest. Wow, look at all these majors for you, Cancer. Going into balance, which is temperance right here in this deck. And then going into the 4 of Swords. Your advice in Spirit Soul Ascension issues is the 6 of Pentacles. All right. Let's see. We're going to pull some clarifiers. I've got that good tarot deck kind of popping down for me, but let's see where is she? There she is. All right. I feel like that good tarot box keeps popping out, wanting to make an appearance. So I'm going to. I've got these 2 decks calling out to me right now. They're like, use me, use me. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. I don't have a big space, so I don't want to take up too much room. So these cards are definitely going to want to make an appearance. I'm going to use these as advice, I think. Okay, let's take a look at your career your relationships first. You've got the Magician energy going into 4 of Discs and Devil energy. So it looks to me like going into the 3 of Swords. I'm not liking this too much, Cancer. I gotta be honest with you. We're gonna pull some clarifiers, but I feel like maybe you've been dealing with a bit of a player. That Magician energy, if poorly aspected, can be somebody that's not so trustworthy. I got you holding on to resources. It could either be financial resources, or you could be blocking off your emotions. Going into 3 of Swords energy. 3 of Swords is usually somebody doing something to you, somebody hurting your feelings, but it's not a horrible. It's not usually a horrible occurrence. You know, it's a sharp pain, but it doesn't last very long. So let's get some clarifiers. Some of you, I'm seeing you messing around with a player and getting hurt. Some of you, I see you being more afraid to open up and be honest in your honest with your emotions. I feel like you're in this fear-based situation, and maybe you're putting too much importance on material gains. Maybe you're dating somebody that isn't as financially stable as you are, and you're putting too much importance on that. You're going to lose if that's the case. You're going to lose this relationship, and it's going to hurt. So let's get some clarifiers. Let's get a clarifier on that Magician, please. 8 of Wands, so communication, emails, chat, dating app, chat. Let's see, what other clarifiers do we have on the Magician, please? Clarifier on the Magician, please. Knight of Swords, so a relationship that came in pretty quickly, and kind of, Queen of Cups, kind of threw you for a loop. He totally, or she totally, turned your head. Let's get clarifiers on these 4 of Cups. So it's a fast relationship that's come in for you recently. Let's get clarifier on that 4 of Discs and Devil energy, please. Clarifier on that 4 of Discs, please. The Knight of Wands. All right, so for most of you, you're really dealing with a player here. So the Knight of Wands with the Knight of Swords, with the Magician. This is all telling me, you know, good looking, charming, flirty, fun to be with person has come into your life, and just kind of turned your head. Let's get a clarifier on that Three of Swords, please. Three of Swords, clarifier for Cancer on Three of Swords, please. Cancer, let's get a clarifier for Three of Swords. What's going on with that Three of Swords? Six of Wands, yep. Okay. Clarifier for 6. What's going on? What's up with that, Spirit? Tell me more about that Three of Swords and the Six of Wands. You're dealing with somebody, Cancer, who's really happy with themselves. What else can you tell me about that? Six of Wands, please. That Three of Swords, Spirit. What else can you tell me about it? Four of Cups. Yeah, so this is a person that's not going to be interested in having a real relationship. They're just interested in having fun, coming in, coming out. And your advice with that too, because we're going to use this, I'm going to use the Good Tarot for a last little bit of advice on this relationship issue. But what I can tell you is that Two of Cups in this deck, in this particular deck, the Two of Cups, I know we like to talk about it as like love, but in this deck, the Thoth deck, this Two of Cups really talks about balancing emotional fulfillment from within. This is like a loving yourself kind of card, having the strength and the confidence, the self-assurance. This is a definite love yourself first kind of card where you can't fill somebody else's cup if your own cup isn't filled. It's very much a self-love card in this deck, and I think that that's what you're dealing with, Cancer, in this relationship. This is a good relationship. You know, you thought it was good. You're like, oh, this is so awesome. This person is so great, so charming, so much fun, so flirty. But it is not gonna, this is a person that's coming in and out of your life pretty quickly. Yeah, a lot of fast movement. Five of Earth, Eight of Fire. We're talking, you know, feeling out in the cold. This person isn't going to make you feel good, and I'm so sorry to say that, Cancer, but this is just a quick relationship. It's important that you focus on yourself. And you may know that too. I think you kind of know that in your heart right now with that Devil energy. You feel bound to this person for some reason. You're trying to protect yourself, but you kind of can't keep away. So charming is that Knight of Wands. You can't keep away. But you know, I think that, yep, temptation. You can't stay away from this one. You're really attracted to this person, Cancer. That's okay. With that Three of Swords is your final outcome. I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to let this go on. You're going to just chalk it up to experience and move on. So just don't get wrapped up. Don't let it, you know, bring you down too much. It's just this person you're dealing with right now is just kind of a player. Okay, let's move on into career issues. You've got the Eight of Wands going into renewal, which is judgment energy, and going into the Two of Discs, which is changing. So, okay, Eight of Wands, lots of activity, lots of communication. Sometimes it's stress from a lot of things happening all at the same time, a lot of change, a lot of activity, which can become a little burdensome. And then you're moving into this, that's where you've been at. There's a lot going on. And you're moving into this judgment energy. So this is a resurrection for some of you. So this, again, maybe you going back to work after having been taking, you know, been furloughed or taking a break or not being able to find a job with all of the coronavirus restrictions that we've been under. This could be you going back to work. And it could be either you going back to work or you just going back into the office from having been at home for a lot of people. And I'm getting that feeling, Cancer, for you, for a lot of you. You have been working from home and it's been stressful. A lot of people have been working from home, working extra long hours. You turn the computer on and you just can't get away from it, right? So you're working longer. There's no commute. You don't have that time off. So the time that you would be commuting, you're actually working on the computer, and then the time you'd be commuting home, you're still on the computer, and then you have to go straight from the computer to taking care of the family, making dinner, doing chores. So it's been stressful for a lot of people. And I think, you know, moving into going back into work may be good. So things are changing, energy's changing up. You're going to have to multitask, and with that Two of Discs energy you're coming into says to me that, you know, you're still going to have to get used to this transition of going back to work. We're going to pull some clarifiers. Your advice is the Eight of Discs, which is really just to get down to work because you're good at it. You just got to focus and put the hours in. Eight of Discs energy. All right, let's get some clarifiers on that. Eight of Wands, please. Clarifier on the Eight of Wands. Eight of Cups. So you've kind of recently left something that wasn't working for you. All that energy, all that back and forth has made you want to leave. Let's get another clarifier on that Eight of Cups with the Eight of Wands. So maybe, or you've been out of work. Let's see, but the Eight of Cups is usually a card that you choose to leave. Yeah, Strength. I think you left a situation recently. You gave notice, maybe. You quit your job. You were like, this isn't working for me. Let's look at the clarifier for... it took a lot of willpower, a lot of inner strength to leave the situation you were in, but you did it, Cancer. Let's take a look at clarifier for Judgment, please. Thank you, Spirit. Please give me a clarifier for Judgment, please. The Moon. Oh, sorry. Wow. You know, I saw the Moon there, and so I went to the Moon immediately, but we've got Judgment. In this deck, it's called Karma, but we've got Judgment clarifying Judgment. Okay, so this is definitely something rising up from the ashes. So this is either you being offered your old job again, going back to your old job, or this is you picking up on a career that you had started before you had this job, something that you used to do. We get another clarifier on Judgment, please. I love it when the cards clarify themselves with themselves. They're like, hey, lady, we told you, Judgment. Whoops. And that was the Ace of Wands that flew out of the deck, so I'm not going to pick it up, but that was the Ace of Wands. So something new, you're starting something new. A new venture might be going back to what you used to do. How interesting, how interesting. Whatever it is, can you get another clarifier on that on Judgment? You're getting the same cards over and over and over again, Cancer. It's really interesting. The Eight of Cups, the Eight of Discs. We got the Eight of Discs here as your advice. So this is something I think that you're resurrecting, something that you used to do, something that you're really good at, something that really gets your fire going. Let's get a clarifier on that Two of Discs, please. This is a pretty interesting time for you, Cancer. Page of Wands. So communications coming in for you about this new venture that you're going into. Might be something you're going into another venture with somebody that you used to work with. The Six of Swords, so on to calmer waters soon. Let's get another clarifier on that Two of Discs. I think you've been going through a little bit of turmoil, trying to figure out what to do. Things have been changing. Spirit, can we get another clarifier for Cancer, please, on the Two of Discs? Clarifier for Cancer on the Two of Discs. Okay. I'm going to use a different deck. See if we get another card coming in. We'll go now with this good tarot. But yeah, I'm getting the same cards over and over again. So Cancer, whatever this was, that you left your job, it looks to me like you're starting something up that you used to do. Something that you used to do. You're doing it again. And you're juggling different priorities, trying to make it happen. But this is going to bring about definite stability, and it's going to work for you, this new career. I'm not getting anything negative. What advice do we have for Cancer? I mean, it's the beginning phase. It's still working. You're not, I don't have it, and this is a spread for just the next week or two, so it's not, end all be all. This is just you getting your act together, gathering information. It's going to help you make this a success. But yeah, this is a transition phase for you, Cancer, in career. Very interesting. Do we have any other advice from the good tarot spirit? What's the advice here for Cancer in career? We do have that Eight of Discs. The Eight of Discs is saying, just, no, Spirit's like, done. I gave you all the cards. I gave you, how many times do I have to repeat the Eight of Discs for you and Judgment before you get it? Just got to put the work in right now, Cancer. That Eight of Discs is just putting the work in, the elbow grease, getting it done. So whatever this new venture is that you're working on, or this new job that for some of you it's a brand new venture, but with somebody that you used to work with. For some of you it's just going back to work, which means you're just going to have to focus on work for the next couple weeks. Okay. In matters of spirit, soul ascension, you've been okay, so we've got the Hierophant in the recent past position, and that's telling me that you're looking at things from a moral standpoint. You're being spiritually minded. You're looking at your community there with the High Priest, church groups, community organizing, community events. Maybe you've been protesting recent events. This is definitely a time where you're trying to find balance. You're trying to understand. You're struggling with what's going on right now. You're trying to take everybody's positions, viewpoints, and you're trying to balance everything. You're trying to figure out how to balance everything. You're trying to figure out where your place is within this balance, within community, within society as a whole. These are big thoughts you have. Two major arcana here, and you're going into a Four of Winter mode. All of this mental energy that you've been expending in Cancer is it's been good that you've been meditating and taking your time, but you're going to need to go into a little phase of rest now, where you can just process everything that you've been thinking about, everything you've experienced, everything that's been downloaded to you while you've been meditating. Your advice really is to slow down, to just rest a little bit. The Four of Swords and the Six of Discs. Six of Discs is very much a balance card, but it's also a success card. And the discs in this deck, they're not just money, but they're all things of security, anything that has to do with your security. So know, Cancer, that you are in balance. You're in balance in the physical. So you just need to rest, process what you've experienced recently. You need to make sure that you give as much as you get, and that you get as much as you give, right? So I feel like for you, this has been a time where you've been giving a lot. I think it's time for you to rest and let others give back to you. I think these cards in your Spirit Soul Ascension line are pretty clear to me. I don't need clarifiers at all on that. You just need to time to process everything that you've recently experienced, seen, witnessed. Yeah, you just need to sit with it. You just need to sit with it. See all of that activity up top here above her. She's sitting there, just contemplating, meditating, processing. That's where you're at right now. Cancer. And that's okay. I think that's great. That's actually really great. Okay, let's take a card from our let's do a card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck and see what we get. We're going to pick a card from this Mystical Shaman Oracle deck to close things out for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus, maybe. Any of you out there doing the Venus thing? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Spirit, what final words of wisdom are you going to leave us with? The Circle. This is a pretty heady card, the Circle. This is a card that talks about cycles in life. I'm going to get the book and read it to you because it says it much more eloquently than I can. But this is a time where you're really processing spiritually, Cancer. And I think this card's going to give you some nice advice. Okay, so when this card appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to Spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the Circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you can know. Stay the course, keep dancing, all will be well. Okay. So when the Circle comes as your medicine, you're meant to come to an understanding of the importance of decay and letting go, the importance of dying to an old form and being reborn anew. If you are faced with the challenge of loss or disappointment, which you will be a little bit romantically, remember this: in the circle of life, nothing is ever wasted. Love will seek itself again. Prosperity will come in a new idea or opportunity. I just love it when all the cards connect. I just really do, when Spirit just blesses us that way. So love will seek itself again. Prosperity will come in a new idea or opportunity. And Spirit always waits for you to find your place in the dance again. So, Cancer, I hope you found this helpful. I see really just wonderful insight coming to you. So, I will catch you next time. Let me know if you found any of this helpful. If any of it resonated, let me know in the comments below. And I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.